Welcome back everybody for more Generator X Unveiled. This video's been on the back burner for a while, so let's turn up the heat and cook. Journeying back to this world infested with Evos, today we're going to talk about one of Rex's closest companions and practical right-hand man, the exotic food-chasing, troubled past-having, gun-slinging chimp, Bobo HaHa. Now, before we get started, of course, shameless plugs. Leave a like on the video and maybe think about subscribing if this video brings back that Saturday morning cartoon vibe. And special thanks to my patrons for supporting the video, linked directly below. But without further ado, let's talk chimps. Voiced by the legendary John DiMaggio, Bobo HaHa, commonly known as Bobo, is an Evo chimp, and throughout all of Rex's journeys was practically right beside him. Ironically, we actually first see Bobo in the very first episode as Rex dives out of the keep to battle a giant Evo, but chronologically, he first appeared in Season 1, Episode 19, Promises, Promises, in which was actually an amazing episode that went back in time to show us the younger versions of Rex, Six, White Knight, Dr. Holiday, and yes, of course, Bobo. After unknowingly stopping Rex's rampage, Six brings him back to Providence HQ, where the very first interaction we're shown with him and Bobo being Bobo convincing Rex to let him out of his containment chamber while asking him where the jet hangar was. Bobo was in custody because he was caught at the Kremlin, aka the literal seat of political and damn near religious power in Russia, and one of the most fortified places on Earth, even in real life. Bobo was there threatening to press the button, aka launch nuclear warheads, and if he wasn't brought half a ton of caviar, he would have did it. And how did Bobo respond to this outrageous allegation? A chimp's gotta eat. Now, keep in mind, Bobo is also banned from 6 unnamed Asian countries as well. And Bobo apparently has even been taken into Providence custody before this, and I assume escaped, as he already knew Agent 6 from previous encounters. Now, after Rex's powers are discovered and a change in leadership at Providence happens, Bobo is apparently chosen as Rex's companion / caretaker. Now, in terms of his true origin, in Season 2, Episode 6, Robo Bobo, Dr. Holiday alludes to Bobo's past and that he was originally owned and trained by a wealthy philanthropist and used to entertain children at hospitals. That possibly hinting at his affinity with Rex and why he also wears the tiny little fez hat. And fun fact, Bobo states that it all started for him when he met a man with a purple hat, possibly a reference to Curious George and how George the Chimp met a man with a yellow hat. But at some point in the years after the Nanite event, Bobo became an Evo, but his mutation was unique, and it didn't seem to change his appearance, but just allow him to speak fluent human languages. Additionally, Bobo is a haphazardly good mechanic and pilot, shown in how he's kept the team safe on several missions and engineered his fair few of impressive contraptions, the most impressive of which is Robo Bobo, a literal synthetic copy that Bobo created to take his place when he didn't feel like being around or had other business. What business? I don't know, probably that of the monkey variety. Robo Bobo was nothing short of a marvel of technology. Seamless movement, nearly indestructible, and perfectly reconstructed straight down to even the monkey stink. How did a talking chimp achieve technological feats higher than nearly every other character in this show? I don't know. Where'd he get the power supply for this incredibly detailed android? I don't know. The only answer simply is Bobo HaHa. Now, while often an enabler to Rex's teenage ways, Bobo is still represented as an agent of Providence and is often deployed directly alongside Rex and Six on high-stakes missions. While a mischievous joker, Bobo has shown himself to be incredibly combat capable. He's shown easily contending with most other Evos, and even has been shown taking down the members of the pack on multiple occasions, though I'd specifically say it's like he's always beating up Scalamander. And I even go as far as to describe Bobo as a weapon specialist, because in addition to his twin laser pistols, he goes for the biggest weapon to solve the smallest problems the majority of the show. And those weapons sometimes include other Evos or stuff like hitting the enemy with the closest vehicle. And personally, one of the weirdest things about Bobo I feel is the fact he wears an eye patch. Well, that and a diaper.
It's a simian undergarment.
It's never revealed how he lost that eye, but personally, I feel like he lost it before he became an Evo, and additionally before he became a child entertaining tax write-off. Say it with me kids, philanthropy is rich tax evasion. In Season 1, Episode 10, Dark Passage, while riding a boat to get to their destination, Bobo complained about the pestering insects, to which Rex responded that it was only natural because he was a chimp. Bobo proceeded to give Rex an unrelated yet intense speech about the cruelty of nature, dramatically ending it by telling him to never forget. Paraphrasing here, but Bobo basically said the jungle is a ruthless mistress. One day you are on the top of the banana pile, and the next day you're at the bottom with the peels, and that the jungle will chew you up and spit you out without a second thought. Which makes me think he lost his eye as a young chimp and was then probably picked up by the purple-hatted philanthropist. Which is entirely realistic because chimps are actually vicious units of danger, to be honest, even to their young or anybody really. Given that, we can actually assume a lot about Bobo. Mainly, he remembers his time before being an Evo, and that deeply shapes him as he constantly reiterates the phrase, never forget. And a part of me thinks maybe this is why his original design was supposed to smoke cigars. On top of that, if this was an adult animation, I bet he'd drink liquor as well. With all that on the table, one thing is clear. It's that Man of Action did not slack when it came to supporting details for Bobo. One thing kinda common for John DiMaggio characters, but voice acting aside. One final question about Bobo the fan base always had is, after the final battle with the Consortium, did Bobo maintain his sentience and ability to speak? Now, when Rex cured the world, same for the fish people in this regards, whose names I forgot, but given at the end of the series, Rex cured the world and is still fighting threats post-cure. And then there's the fact he was literally omnipotent, a god of time, space, and creation, yada yada yada, so I'd say it's fair to assume Rex wouldn't turn his best friend into a basic chimp or let anyone get an unjust post-cure outcome. But all that being said, we've reached the end of the video, guys. Special thanks once again to my patrons you see on the screen, and general thanks to all of you for watching. I hope I brought up those fresh off the school bus feelings. You guys have been patient, and I'm finally getting a decent upload schedule back in order. Content creation's been kinda hard lately, and I can't always justify the mental energy towards it and also try and pay my bills, but the channel isn't going anywhere, and I'll be back with a fresh video soon. Again, thanks for watching, and remember, stay safe and stay sane.